Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Rise and Slay Morning Show. My name is Rochelle Slay Queen Hemingway, CEO and founder of Slay to Success. I advise and empower women professionals, especially women veterans, to step up into their most authentic personal brand to gain and attract lucrative opportunities. And y'all, this morning, this show is specifically for women veterans. Okay, so if you know of a woman veteran, please share, have them come on in to listen in on a conversation. Those that are transitioning into business. And I'm going to flesh out a lot of different things in this small segment this morning. So as you come on in, please let me know your name, where you're streaming in from, so I can give you a shout out. But we all know we are starting from the word slay. Okay, what does the word slay mean? If you look it up in the Urban Dictionary, it means to kill it, to dominate it, and to nail it, to be on point, to impress greatly, and to dream big and work hard until you own it. It is also an acronym that stands for Universal Life and Leadership Philosophies that really resonate with me, and I hope it resonates with you too. And that is stay ready to be ready, lead out loud, a sense of community or a sense of family, and knowing you are built to last. So I am a personal brand strategist, a keynote speaker, a certified image consultant, and a proud United States Air Force veteran. All right. I served for 30 years in the Air Force. And what I realized during the last 5 to 7 years of my career was that I was different. I was a unicorn. I stood out amongst everyone else. And at times, it caused a lot of strain because people could not figure out what I was doing. I was rewriting the rules. I created groups, programs, processes that people were kind of like, why are you doing these things? And for me, it was my way of showing that things can be done differently. After I retired from the military in 2021, I decided to start a business. And what I want to share with the women veterans who are transitioning into business is we are not starting over. We are starting different, and different pays. I've been using self-branding as the tool to grow my business over the past year and a half. What I started out with wasn't exactly what I'm doing right now. I have seen people give me the eyeball look when I have told them of what I am doing and how I'm doing it. And they said, oh, that's just a phase. That too shall pass. Y'all, I am here today after starting Slay to Success. It started in February of 2022, but not officially until 2023. In 2023, I started to use storytelling. I started to use pictures for me when I was in the military. I started to network and be out and about and really be able to share what I do and how I do it in industry that I had zero experience in. Zero. Those are the women and men, all right, that I have helped to create their business and to grow their business with self-branding. So if you are here with me this morning and any of this is resonating with you, please let me know. But again, share and subscribe. I have a Slay to Success YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please, after the show or during the show, you slide on over there. There are many videos over there that you can binge watch as to what I'm speaking to. Now, I also have the Slay to Success talk show, which is on Sunday nights, selected Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I bring in a guest. And we talk about leadership, wellness, mindset, branding, business acumen, and all the things. All right. So that's another opportunity for you to engage with Slay to Success. This is a movement. This is an ecosystem or a community of those who want to do things differently. I decided that I did not want to go back into corporate or go into corporate or go into government after I retired from the military. And I have been thriving and getting micro wins. If you're following me on LinkedIn, hi, LinkedIn. I am showing up and sharing with you all where I'm going, what I'm doing. The network is expanding, who I'm meeting and connecting with, and I'm doing it all by what I already have. I am leveraging my skill set, my expertise, all the things that I have done in my military career to help me to grow the business. And I say all this because if I can do it, you can do it too. All right. So today I want to just talk to you about this. This, as you can hear, is very personal to me. I'm not going to be here very long, but this is very personal because when I stepped into entrepreneurship, I realized that my uniform no longer would be speaking for me. When you are in the military, it's a hierarchy system. Everyone at some point starts to know who you are, what you do, and how you do it. And you have instant credibility when you have the uniform on. You got stripes on, you got pins on, you got all these special identifiers to let people know of what your experience has been. So none of that really translated into the civilian world. As some of you have been following my journey, everything changed for me from my head to my toe. I changed my hair. I changed my clothes, y'all. This is how people know me. Bold prints, very different. I also created programs. I've written books. You see here, there are some of my books in my publications. That's all about personal branding. But I did this because I knew that in the civilian world, it's much different. Now, I'm going to be looking on Facebook because, Facebook doesn't always allow me to be great. And that's okay, Facebook, okay? Because I'm already going to go over here and look to see if anybody has made a comment. And there has been one comment over there. So let me just acknowledge. Leslie, how you doing? Good morning, madam. Thank you so much for joining me this morning live on the show. So I had to build a new identity, literally from what I knew, but somewhat from scratch. I reflected on my value, my worth, my expertise, and now my voice. And now this personal branding has become my bridge. I use it to get into rooms, places, to go speak, to find new partnerships, collaborations, and it is working. I am very authentic and true to myself. I am not looking to what everyone else is doing because I don't know how to be anyone else but me. And I also realize is that my name means everything to me. It's all I really have. So I created persona, and my nickname is Slay or Slay Queen. Sometimes people don't know what my first name is, and that's quite all right. But if you say, hey, there's a Slay Queen, there goes Slay, we understand now that when you have a digital media system and all the other things in the background, that is your storefront. This is how people get to know you. This is how people engage with you. This is how people find out more about you. If you Google yourself and you're not at the place where people can really understand the storyline, then that's what I help my clients to work on. We are not chasing anything down. All right. Everything is naturally, organically coming to us, and it's helping us to find our way. I have no idea where this is going to take me. And that's quite all right for me, because at first I was like, I need to know. Just like I was in the military and most of you were, we had a path. right? My AFSC, which was my Air Force specialty code, was a 4NOX1. That is a medical technician. Medical technicians can go different pathways or whatnot. And mine was your next level after a medical technician for 10 years. Now you're going to step in to be an independent duty medical technician. I thought I was going to stay in that career field for the rest of my career because a lot of people do. But what happened was I was starting to brand myself with excellence. I would show up sharp as a tack. You could not tell me anything when I was in uniform. And people saw that I was really invested in my dress and appearance. And when I started to communicate and to show up in the presence that I was actually presenting, everything started to change for me. I became a first sergeant. I was a first sergeant for 4 years. I was on the Inspector General's team at Langley Air Force Base for 2 years. And then I was the medical superintendent at Luke Air Force Base. And then when I went to a deployment, my last deployment, and then my last base, I served as a command chief at Ellsworth Air Force Base in South Dakota. A medic serving in a bomber and not understanding all the ins and outs of what the bomber community does is kind of unheard of. So many times when we are not betting on ourselves and we are thinking, oh, that can't happen for us, I'm going to tell you, if you focus on your identity, because there's an identity gap going on right now. So people knew exactly who you were in the military. And I'm speaking specifically to women veterans today. So if you're a woman veteran in the building, in the house, whatever, what case, I got one right here. All right. Chevy served for 22 years in the United States Air Force, right? She is doing something much different than what she was doing when she was serving in the military. And she is being successful. So the people in my community, this is what we are doing. We are no longer depending on someone or some things to happen for ourselves. We make things happen. All right. Now I've got a military spouse in the building. Okay. Krista, happy to slay. Okay. Thank you so much, Queen. We are making things happen for ourselves. We don't wait around. All right. What we're using is our experience. But when we transition from the military, the structure starts to disappear. And I had to ask myself who I am now and how do I want to be seen? I am pursuing a vision for myself, for my business, for my life. I have a way different lifestyle than I did when I was in the military. And some people stay stuck after they transition because they don't know how to move forward or to take the action that is required to become someone or something different than what they've been trained to do. But personal branding gave me clarity, and I continue to get clarity all the time. In fact, this morning, I got clarity on exactly who I've been working with. I've been working with men and women who don't want to go into government, who don't want to go into corporate, who don't want to do a 9 to 5, and they want to do something different, but they want to build a business around it, and they want to do it in a most authentic and unapologetic way. That's who I'm working with. We are no longer subject to structure, to rules. We're actually rewriting the rules all day, every day, breaking rules, breaking habits that we were accustomed to for a very long time that got us to the finish line. So we have to understand that we have been building leadership, resilience, and discipline, and all this is powerful, right? All this is different from those that have not served in the military before, right? There's another level of leadership that we have. Because think about it. I was just talking to Lindsay Kinslow, who was on my show, and she's an Army veteran. And she's also been a client of mine. And she was talking about how we were given keys to vehicles after we got our driver's license. We went and we got, checked for every vehicle we could drive in a lot of our different roles. And I ended up driving an ambulance for the hospital when I was at Yokota. Never driven an ambulance before. And I'm like, what in the world am I doing? Okay. We were taking on task that we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into, and we were asked to go out there and execute. But I realized that the marketplace, all right, doesn't always understand military language. They don't understand acronyms. They don't understand Air Force instructions or, Army instructions or whatever military service that you were in. They don't know the lingo. There are a lot of unwritten rules in the military. And so when we're starting to develop our businesses and we're not sure of what to use, we can fall back onto self-branding. So I had to learn how to translate all those skills into entrepreneurship. All right. And that branding has really helped me to tell the story. All right. I tell the story from a visual aspect and from clarity in what I am talking through. All right, so Krista's got a comment here. Krista said, the key is thinking before you exit on what's next. Our house key is the best build before. I was not thinking, Krista, about what my next was. I had my head down. I was in a fog. I was working all the way up until I retired. So it's a great way for us to pause, especially for those that are transitioning. You're like 1 year out, 2 years out, really thinking about how you can use what you have learned and leverage that into what you want to do if you are looking to be in businesses. And yes, we are creating businesses, yes, that allow us the life, freedom, and impact we want. Why? Because we sacrificed a lot while we were in service. I look back on a lot of times and I'm thinking, whoa, I was given a pound of flesh, right? Every single day. And I do not have any regrets about my military service. I am a proud veteran, proud woman veteran. I use it to my advantage, but it is not the first thing that I share with people. It is part of the story. It is not all the story. But now this life of freedom and the impact that I'm creating is way worth it. So if you're looking to build a personal brand and leverage it to be successful and thrive in your business, I'm the blueprint. I have the keys to the kingdom. Okay. So when I started my business, I wasn't known in the industry. No one knew me as being an image consultant. It was so far removed. What are we talking about? No one was thinking I was going to be a motivational speaker, transformational speaker. No one. Okay. And I just said one day, that's what I'm going to be. This wasn't until after I retired. That's what I'm going to be. I'm going to write books because I'm very creative and I have a lot of thoughts. And I'm just going to leverage a platform, and my platform of choice is LinkedIn. And because it was so foreign to me, it's been a challenge. I wanted to challenge myself. What can I build in here? What can I do? Like, I network on LinkedIn and outside of LinkedIn. I never lived here. We never lived here in the state of Maryland before, ever, 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 ever. But many times people who have lived here, they tell me, you know more people than We do, and we've been here our whole life, right? So it is my way to show up consistently. I am aligning my image with my message and being intentional about my presence, which has allowed me to gain credibility faster. My brand has now become my calling card. I can go into a grocery store, or I could be in a networking event. And now, and it's been, I'm just not saying this is overnight. It's been 3 years, y'all. Okay. That I have been doing this slow churn. And now people are recognizing me, and now they know what I do, and they are referring me. So a couple of days ago, I did a speaking engagement from a referral. Tomorrow, I'm going to be in person presenting about personal branding to veterans at the University of Maryland. Who would ever knew this girl, this woman now, who's from a small town of Kokomo, Indiana, and being able to serve for 3 decades in the military, be asked to go in and present on something that I had never talked about before. And if it wasn't for one of my friends, my brother in arms, Todd Simmons, to tell me that my personal branding was on point, I would have never saw it. I would have skipped right on over it. But now I'm using it to grow my business. It is the center and the focus of what I do. So one of the most important lessons that I learned is if you don't define yourself, others will do it for you. Okay. And personal branding or self branding gave me the tools to control my narrative. I didn't want anyone to get it wrong. For a while, people assumed things when I was in the military. They would assume. Now there is no assumption. I'm making sure I tell the story over and over and over again wherever I go. And sometimes I share it differently based on the audience that's in front of me, because not everyone is going to relate or resonate with just the one story. That's why we have to have multiple stories to make sure, and we have stories on top of stories to make sure that when we are entering these spaces that they're in alignment. So I wasn't just seen, and I'm not just seen now as a former military person, but now I'm seen as a leader outside of the uniform, an entrepreneur, and a woman of influence. That's what I'm being seen right now as. So I ask you, if you're a person or someone who is looking to go into business, what tool are you using right now that's really gained you success? Because what I do know is if people don't get a chance to know you and like you and trust you, they will not do business with you. And in the world that is full of a lot of noise, you got to be able to capture people's attention. And the way that I'm doing that is through lots of different modes of communication. So, yes, Chevy says a proud woman veteran. All right. And we are not sitting back. We're not going to wait our turn. We're not going to wait till somebody tells us, hey, it's time for you to go. We are creating platforms and we're bringing others with us. So that is what I wanted to share with you all today. We are not starting over. We are starting different. And in the next few weeks, I will be presenting several different ways for us to come together and to start talking about how to really build these brands, all right, that are going to become household names. They will become the top of mind on the list of when people are asking, who do we need to bring in to support our brand, to elevate our brand, they're going to have you right there. And you're going to be hashtag booked and busy, just like I am right now. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who came here live on the show. And we had Chevy and Krista on the LinkedIn side of the house. And then we had Leslie and Glenroy and Tish on the Facebook side of the house. And just remember, you have everything that you need to make an impact, to make an influence, and most importantly, to make this income that we need to do to continue on this generational transition. I want my name to be known in my family for a very, 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 very long time. And I've created evergreen products to make sure that my name never goes away. What are you doing right now so that way you can also make that difference in your family? And the way that we can do all this is by using self-branding, personal branding, which composes of 4 different areas: our appearance, behaviors, communication skills, and our digital presence. So if you're interested in learning more or finding out ways that we can partner with one another to help you to build a strong, memorable, and on fire brand, come see about me. And you know where you can find me because I'm always here online. You can drop a DM. You can go to my website, www.slaytosuccess.com, and you can check out what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But we got to step up, y'all. Okay, it's time to level up. It's time to come out of the shadows and to really present ourselves so that way we can create that freedom, all right, that life that we want to live, because this is a lifestyle, okay? And I'm loving my new lifestyle, y'all. Okay? All right, so keep on slaying until you can't slay no more, and I will see you all very, very soon. Love y'all. Bye-bye.